Welcome back, Illumineers. It's October, and that means stitches in a pumpkin. Today, we're going to count down our top 10 Disney pirates that we want to see in Lorcana.
We're excited to get to the list, but before we do, big news, Erin, did you know we have 15 subscribers?
You know, I saw that on our channel the other day. Thank you all so much for subscribing.
It's a big deal for us, brand new channel, so we're excited. So we've seen the preview cards. We know there are pirates. Captain Hook is a pirate subtype. So today we're going over what we think a tribal deck could look like, or rather, the tribal deck that we would like to play in Disney's Lorcana. This is a pirate list, so I feel like I have to get the easy ones out of the way first. I'm going with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and for me, it's Davy Jones. We could go with the easy pick and Jack Sparrow or Will Turner, but for me, Davy Jones is one of the best pirates in this film. He's a villain. I can't wait to play him on the table. And any pirate list better have him on it, because you know what he says, he is the sea.
Yeah, and Bill Nye as Davy Jones is absolutely spectacular. We're both huge Bill Nye fans, so any movie with him in it, we're game. Liam, how likely do you think it is that we're going to see Davy Jones in a Lorcana deck in the coming years?
I think in the first 3 years, I think it is a 10. I think that's one franchise that Disney can easily pull on. They're still making new movies, and I think it's an easy pick for them to start pulling characters from that film.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I'm probably going to go with an 8 on this one. I think that they're going to knock out a lot of animated characters first based on the aesthetic of the cards that we're seeing so far, but I think Pirates of the Caribbean is right around the corner. My number 2 pick for this list are the ever cute Kakamora from Disney's Moana. I love these little guys. They were such a fantastic add to the movie. I think you can do a lot of fun things with them, either combining multiple into a card or naming them and showcasing them individually. I think the possibilities are endless, and I would love to see them in a Lorcana deck.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're cute until they're not. The Kakamora are vicious. I think they're great, and I think we're going to see them on the table. For a pirate list, you got to have them.
So like I said with Davy Jones, I definitely think we're going to probably see more animated characters on the front end. So I think it's a high likelihood we're going to see these guys in the next 3 years. I'm going to go with a 9. Liam, what do you think?
I'm going to go with an 8. I definitely think they'll go into Moana. Whether or not they'll go outside of the named characters into these smaller bit characters, I'm not sure. So Moana, yes, but an 8 on the Kakamora. Number 3, we're going back to a movie that was on our Alien list, going to Treasure Planet. It's another movie with a lot of pirates, and there's a ton to choose from. I think the obvious choice is John Silver, but for me, Scroop is my pick, or Mr. Scroop, as some call him. He's a fantastic villain with a great voice, a great character, looks like a spider-crab hybrid, and he's so menacing, he would be a great card on the table.
You know, I don't think we take the opportunity to talk about Treasure Planet enough. Not us, but just the world in general. I love that we've been able to bring it up in our last 2 videos. I think it's such a great film.
Yeah, Treasure Planet kind of gets lost in the shuffle when we talk about great Disney films. I would not put it at the top of their catalog, but Treasure Planet was coming online as Disney was grasping onto the last remnants of 2D animation when the studios were switching over to 3D. It kind of filled that gap, and it's if nothing else, it's a beautiful film with a very good soundtrack, and it's worth watching.
Yeah. So, how likely do you think it is that we're going to see Scroop in the next 3 years?
I think it's a 8. Treasure Planet is not a well-known movie, but the thing is, when you're drawing on aliens and pirates, we've got to get them from somewhere, and Treasure Planet's a great place to get them from.
You know, I'm going to actually go down to like a 6. I do think it's great, but again, people don't have a strong affinity for Treasure Planet like they do some of these classic Disney movies, so I think it might be a little lower on the list.
That's fair. So, Erin, who's number 4 on the list?
So for number 4, I'm going to go with Izzy from Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
So I have to ask, why did you pick Izzy instead of Jake? Because he's the title character.
So I absolutely love Izzy. First of all, girl power. Chick has got it going on with her and her fairy dust. So I have to say, I just recently started watching Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and I think it's a fantastic show for young kids. It's kind of got a Dora and the Explorer vibe going on with interaction. And I absolutely love the camaraderie that they have and the activities and the adventures that they go on. And I love that they've incorporated Captain Hook and Smee as the primary antagonists in the series. So really love Izzy. Look forward to playing with her and collecting some gold doubloons.
All right, so how likely is it she'll be in the game in the next 3 years?
You know, I think with Disney talking about wanting to introduce new TCG players to TCGs through Lorcana, I think that this is a great way to start getting young kids or kids who grew up with Jake and the Neverland Pirates engaged in these. So I'm going to go with maybe a 9 on this. I think it's a great intro character to bring into the game.
I'm going to go with a 5. I don't think it's a big name franchise. I don't think it's big enough for the first 3 years. I can see your point. I agree with it. I just don't think we're going to see it in the first 3 years. Number 5 on the list, I'm going to go to Star Wars. There are a bunch of bounty hunters that I could pick from that I think fit the pirate theme. However, I'm not going bounty hunter. I'm going with a true space pirate in Hondo Ohnaka. For those of you who aren't familiar, Hondo is a character from the Clone Wars and from Star Wars Rebels. He's a great character. He's a great sidekick to the Rebels in later shows, and I think he's a fantastic addition to the game if we see him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think y'all will get to know this about Liam. He absolutely loves Clone Wars and Rebels.
Brilliant show.
And so you'll probably see a lot of characters from those shows in our lists coming up. Liam, what do you think the likelihood is that we're going to see him in Lorcana in the first 3 years?
In the first 3 years, I think a 7. I think Star Wars is an easy pick, and he's a great pirate character to choose from.
You know, although I agree with you, I think Star Wars, we're going to see them early. He is somewhat of a more minor character in the whole saga of Star Wars, and so I'm probably going to go with a 4.
See Clone Wars if you haven't.
So number 6 for me is a blast from the past, Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I have so many memories of watching this movie with my dad when I was a kid. And I have to say, I think he probably has the coolest ship of all of the pirates on the list today.
Yeah, that's the Nautilus. It's a submarine. It looks very cool. I think this is a great addition to the list. I think this game provides a great opportunity to mix new characters that kids love, like Izzy, with old characters that older Disney fans love, like Captain Nemo from 20,000 Leagues. Getting them both on the table at the same time would be so cool.
Yeah, I definitely think that having Captain Nemo on the table may be a way we could get my dad into playing the game with us. I'm not sure. We'll keep you posted.
You heard us, Ravensburger.
So Liam, what do you think the likelihood is Captain Nemo will be in the game?
To be quite honest, I think it's a 2. I think it may be way in the future, but in the next 3 years, I don't know that we're going to get some of these deep cuts.
Yeah, you know, I totally agree. Sad to say, I'm going to actually go with a 1. Like, I just really don't think that there's a chance he's going to be on the table in the next 3 years.
But one day.
One day. So Liam, what's your number 7?
It's one I know everyone's waiting for. It's Muppet Treasure Island. There's a lot of pirates to choose from this. A lot of pirates. I know the obvious choice is Long John Silver or Polly. But for me, it's Clueless Morgan. He's probably my favorite Muppet pirate on the ship for various reasons.
And so what are those reasons?
Well, he's a pirate goat, and he gives the best advice. You know what he always says? When you're a professional pirate, you don't have to wear a suit. All right. Aaron, how likely do you think we'll see Clueless Morgan from Muppet Treasure Island in the next few years?
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to go with like a 3, maybe.
It hurts my heart a little bit. I think they'll go Muppets. I think we'll have some Muppet sets in the first few years. I'm going to go 5. Muppet Treasure Island is a little bit of a deep cut for the Muppets, but I love it, and I hope I see it. Aaron, we're up to number 8, and we haven't seen Marvel on the list. You want to fix that?
Sure. So number 8 is Yondu from the Guardians of the Galaxy series.
So he's a Ravager. Is that a pirate?
I'm going to definitely go with yes. There are some absolute pirate tendencies, stealing things in outer space.
Kidnapping?
Yeah. So I love Yondu because he kind of has this bad guy turned good story arc. And in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when it's revealed that Star-Lord kind of views him almost as a father figure, it's just such a touching moment. And I think really adds to his character and makes me excited to see him out on the table.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that there was a huge debate before we went into filming this video because I really wanted to go with Kraglin, not necessarily because of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm also a huge Gilmore Girls fan. And anytime I can represent Kirk, I'm going to do it. But Yondu was the obvious choice.
Fair. All right. How likely is Yondu in the next 3 years?
You know, I was a little skeptical at first, but because we know that there's going to be a pirate subtype and Marvel is such an obvious choice, I'm going to go with an 8.
I'll go with a 6, but I think you're right. I think we will see Marvel. You know, maybe a 7. It's time for number 9, and this is my deep cut. I'm going with Porthos from the Disney's Three Musketeers. For those who haven't seen this film, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. It was one of my favorite films as a kid. There are several lines in that movie that indicate Porthos is not only a musketeer, but is or was a pirate. First, he has a sash from the Queen of America and hints at some daring adventures. But then there's a very specific scene on a boat where he lands in front of some pirates and they look at him and go, "Porthos the pirate," and leap off the ship. It's a brilliant scene. Porthos is a pirate, and I'm putting him on the list at number 9.
You know, I have to say, I also loved this movie as a kid, but probably for very different reasons than you did. I had a huge crush on D'Artagnan. But it means I saw the movie a lot.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
So, Liam, how likely do you think it is that we're going to see Porthos in the pirate subcategory on the Lorcana board?
If Ravensburger listens to our advice, 10. However, I don't think they will, and he'll not much of a chance. Probably a 1.
Yeah, I'm also probably going with a 1 on this one, but it's fun to think about.
We want it so badly.
Okay, last but absolutely not least, you could not have Captain Hook in a game without his trusty sidekick, Mr. Smee. We did a lot of talking, and there was a lot of turmoil about whether or not we were going to put Smee on the list, but I just really don't think that there could be a Captain Hook without a Mr. Smee, and so here he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy pick. Captain Hook's in the game. We know Mr. Smee will probably make an appearance, but we had to put him on because we can't have one without the other. If you're going to have Captain Hook in a deck, you need to have Smee.
Absolutely. I feel incredibly confident that we're going to see him probably within the first year. I'm going to actually...
First set.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to go with a 10 on this.
10, hands down.
So at number 10, we also have 2 10s. Okay, so that's the list. Are there any pirates that you hope to see in Lorcana in the next 3 years? If so, please drop them in the comments below.
We can't wait to have that debate. Hey, for those of you who subscribed, thank you so much. For those of you who haven't, consider it. It helps my self-esteem a bit. All right.
Okay, have a great rest of your day. Bye, Illumiteers.
Bye. Say goodbye, Pumpkin Stitch.